Hey guys, it's Misty Eyez.
Hey guys, it's Christian.
And we're here with an Ask Misty. Yesterday, I went to the SOFFA group at Sunserve. Sunserve is where we both work. And the SOFFA group is significant others, friends, families, and allies of trans people. And one of the mothers in the group asked me, what advice would I give to trans or parents of transgender kids? And I was like, whoa, that's a great question. And I'm going to start with what I told her, and then I'm going to ask you your thought and advice on this, or what you would tell a parent. But what I told this group of people, I said, number one, you're at a SOFA group. You're already doing the thing I would recommend. But coming out as a transgender person is the scariest thing in anyone's life. And when we come out to our parents, the number one thing would be to love your child. And a lot of children and adults that have come out as trans have told me, a lot of my clients have told me that they don't feel love from their mom or their dad. Baby. Ow, baby.
Video crap.
This is the video bomb that is not making it in the video. You brat. You can press the red button. Stop it.
Alright, so on this Johnny minute right here.
Oh, Jesus. I can't, girl. Take over, baby. What should the parent of a transgender child do?
Oh my ass! Oh my god! Okay. You want people to see your ass open? I got you.
No. Ow, baby! Stop it!
No! Papa, no!
One of the mothers asked me, as a parent, what should we do with our trans kids? Like, what should we know, or what should we be doing? Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first on this one?
You go.
Me first? Okay. So I'll just tell you what I told her. I said, first of all, the number one thing I think you should do, I believe you're probably already doing. If you have made it to a significant other friends and family and allies group, kind of like a P flag for gay people group, if you've made it here, you're already on the same page. But the most important thing I think you should do as a parent is let your child know that you love them. First and foremost, that's the most important thing. A lot of trans people go through self-doubt, self-hate, self-misery, just a deep, dark depression. And as a mother, you need to tell your child, I love you no matter what. Mommy's here. If you want to go fishing with mommy, go fishing with mommy. If you want to braid mommy's hair, braid mommy's hair. I love you no matter what. It's okay. You want to cut your hair? Cut your hair. You want to grow your hair? Grow your hair. Whatever. And that's the important thing. And I recently did a training. I almost said the city. I'm doing a bunch of cities in Broward County right now, and I almost said the city where this was. Not that it would matter. But one of the parents, one of the people that was attending my training told me that their child, they feel, might be gay or trans. And I said, okay, first of all, I don't know what made their child sensitive, is what I call it. But I use the analogy, if your son is wearing tutus, doesn't mean he's gay. If your son is wearing tutus, doesn't mean he's a girl. If your son is playing with Barbies, it doesn't mean he's gay. It doesn't mean he's a girl. I don't think parents should lead their child to be gay, and I don't think they should lead their child to be trans. That being said, when your child does come to you and say, Mommy, why don't I have a vagina? Or Mommy, I'm a boy. Or Mommy, whatever. I think that's when you should be a parent and say, okay, let's talk about this. And instead of forcing your child to go through the conversion therapy, I do think you should put your child in counseling, but an LGBT or transgender proficient or trans competent therapist that's not going to traumatize your child, but love your child. What would you say advice you would give a parent of a transgender child?
First and foremost, I would reiterate that your child is its own person. They are going to have their own destiny. They're going to have their own interests. They're going to have a unique personality different from yours. You gave life to this child, yes, but they have a life of their own, and in order for them to live that life in the younger years of their life, they need to have the freedom to go find out what it is that resonates with them inside. They need to have an environment that allows them to grow. They need to have fertile soil for their seeds to grow in and to see what type of flower they want to come out as. So if they're living a life in your home uninhibited to self-express, to go try a few different things out that may be outside of the norm, I think that that child will be able to identify what it is that they like and discard the stuff that they don't. If they are told, no, don't do this, you're not allowed to do this, if they're inhibited, I think that they're going to become fascinated with it because it's a taboo. It's a, it's the name you don't speak of. It's the place you don't visit, and they're going to become fascinated with it. And that's when you're going to get problems. That's when the lines are going to be blurred if they are really gay or straight or trans. No one's going to know for sure because it might be them acting out a taboo that was placed on them when they were a child. So I guess to sum up that explanation is just allow them the freedom to self-express and to discover.
The more you tell your child not to do something, the more they want to do something.
Yeah.
And whether it's jump on the couch or whatever. Don't jump on the couch. Oh my gosh, mom's not home. I'm going to jump on the couch.
It inspires the rebellion nature.
Yes. And all humans go through that nature. It might be as a teenager, it might be as a child, it might be as an adult, but you all go through that circle of life and cycle of rebellious behavior. Now, my husband and I have looked into surrogacy and in vitro fertilization, and that starts at $63,000. I work for nonprofit. There's probably something we will never have. But what was ironic to me is when I was talking to somebody about the desire of me being a mother and starting this journey, somebody said to me, can you believe this? What if you had a trans child? I was like, okay, first of all, if I spend $63,000 to get a child, I would love that child no matter what. And first of all, being LGBT is genetic.
Whether you spent money or not.
Yes. Yeah. But for me, in my situation, I'm like, and that's one thing I would tell my child. Like, I would be like, I'm not your bio mom, but I am your real mom. And I love you so much that I went out of my way and sacrificed to get you. And no matter what you are, you have 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 hands, 2 feet. If you're transgender, if you're lesbian, or you're gay, or whatever, I love you no matter what. And I think a lot of parents forget that. And I understand. My mother and father did not do it the best. My mother and I didn't speak for 16 years. And she called me and said, will you come to Alaska for Christmas? And I've talked about this in my personal channel already. I said no. But then I went in January, soon after, for my birthday, and I sat my mom down and I told her, I forgive you. And of course she got defensive. Forgive me? What do you need to forgive me about? And I wanted to let her know there's some personal trauma. Well, I've actually talked about it on my channel already, so you probably already know. Some molestation and just childhood trauma that I've went through. And I said, Mom, I know that mothers don't get a rule book. you never got a how-to guide. Do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And when I first came out of the closet as weird or different, and I did come out as a gay man before I came out as a woman, she basically tough loved me like I was a drug addict. And she said I could come home when I come back to Jesus. And that hurt really bad. And it took her 16 years to see that I wasn't changing, and for her to reach out to me and be like, will you come home? And I tell that story a lot to trans parents of trans people, that there is no rule book. Nobody has ever sat down, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do that. And it's important to forgive your mom. I do know for a fact my mother did the best thing she knew how to do, and she loved me and tried to help me in the best way she could, and that she knew how to. It might not have been the correct way for me, but at the end of the day, we just talked about this, no regrets. Like, watch the Misty Meets Christian, no regrets. Like, I don't regret anything. I'm thankful for my mom. I'm thankful for my journey. There are definite things I still want to do to my body and for my life, but I'm very thankful. Do you have any more advice for a mom or a dad?
Yeah. Who do you want your kid learning life lessons from?
Yeah.
Do you want your kid to be insecure and go after love and support from somebody that might be a bad influence? Of course not. Nobody has a child and thinks that. You want the best for your kid. And who better than to provide them life lessons, an example, setting the bar for what it is to be a successful, happy human being than you. You're their parent. You're the first manifestation of love in their life. And they crave that. They need that. A happy human being needs that and seeks that. And no matter where the source is, they're going to go after it. So whether that be from a gang, or from an abusive relationship, or getting into, who knows, all sorts of trouble so they can get and receive attention and love and whatever it is that comes with all of that insecurity, they're going to find it. But how much better would it be in their life and yours if they were to look up to you when they're feeling unsure themselves?
Truth. Another point I would say, and I think mothers do this most with their teenage daughters, your job is to be a parent, not a best friend. You need to be your child's rock. You need to be your child's guidance. But when they come to you with problems, you need to be strong for them and be like, okay, this is what I would do. Granted, you would not know what to do because you've never been in a trans person's shoes. However, you need to remember you're the parent and not the BFF. Love them, support them, but don't go get drunk with them. Don't go get high with them. Love them and support them, but be a role model and guidance for them. And that's truly what is important.
I would say when it comes to uncomfortable situations that your child's experiencing, I think that's when it's okay to meet them at their level.
Yes.
And you can kind of get your hands dirty and be their friend with a friendly conversation so that they feel comfortable that they can trust you. They recognize you as friend, not foe, not someone that you're
an ally.
An ally, essentially, not an authority figure. They right there and then in that moment of need, they need a friend. They need a parent too. But ultimately, in order for them to open up to you and to communicate their needs in a healthy manner, they are gonna need you to be their friend. So that means listening to them wholeheartedly, allowing them to articulate what they're trying to say, because initially they don't even know the language. Like, I experienced that, and when I was trying to speak my truth, and I felt like before I could even get it out, people were so quick to try to shoot me down
with judgment and criticism
and interrupt me, and I kept on, I had to keep adjusting what I was trying to say, and that's just one example. But allow open communication without criticism. Don't put people down, because they're gonna push away from you, and then they're gonna go seek out somebody that will encourage them to be themselves and articulate what they're trying to say. Right. And it might not be from a good source. There's a lot of people out there that have ulterior motives, and if they find a trans person or somebody that's in a vulnerable position, emotional state, they'll take advantage of that. Yeah. And you don't want that. We don't want that.
We definitely don't want that for your child. Be a rock, be an ally, and most importantly, again, be loving. Let your child know. And there's a lot of self-discovery issues that go on in a trans person. Am I a butch lesbian? Am I a straight femme woman? Am I somewhere in between? There's a lot of spectrums. Gender identity is a spectrum. Sexual orientation is a spectrum. And a lot of people get confused. Like, Caitlyn Jenner is a woman attracted to women. I am a woman attracted to men. And sometimes a woman attracted to women are masculine presenting and aggressive or dominant or macho. And I remember the first time I met a lesbian trans woman, I saw her, and this was many years ago. I was like, "You're trans? You're doing it wrong." And I literally thought that. I didn't tell her that, but I really thought, like, you're doing it wrong. There's no right way. And you might be a tomboy trans woman. You might be a femme girl trans woman. You might be a soft, loving trans guy. You might be a flaming homo gay guy. You might be a super macho welder trans guy. There's many levels, and you need to love and support your child as they figure out themselves.
And Misty, I just thought of this. If for all those parents out there that don't know or have any experience with this, trans, LGBT, what would you recommend for a parent that gets presented with this idea that their child may be on the LGBT spectrum, and they genuinely don't know what to do, but they truly want to be a support for their child, but they don't know how to comment? What would you recommend they do?
Well, fortunately, we do live in the year 2019, and Jazz Jennings has already been out. Caitlyn Jenner has already come out. There are YouTubers like me and you that have already been out. Mm-hmm. And these people, Laverne Cox, Gigi Gorgeous, have been paving the way for other trans people. So hopefully, with their exposure and them living their truth, it can help guide your way. But I would recommend, depending on the age of your child, to get I Am Jazz, the book. I've read that at Drag Queen Storytime once to small children. Also, reach out to sunserve.org, www.sunserve.org. Christian and I both work there. Sunserve was created initially 13 years ago as a mental health organization to help LGBT people seek mental health therapy at an affordable rate. And we have evolved into a housing department, a senior daycare center. We have 3 youth groups. We have a different drummer group for 3 years old to 13 children, their siblings, their parents. We also have a women's services. We have a transgender services. We have, what else? What am I forgetting?
A lot of support groups.
We definitely have a lot of support groups. We have a bereavement group. We have the SOFFA group, significant others, friends, family, allies.
Living positively with HIV
Yes,
for
we
women.
have a lot of HIV stuff going on. So reach out to SunServe, send the receptionist or give the message to receptionist, I want to talk to Christian, or I want to talk to Misty. We're the only Christian and Misty at SunServe.
Yeah.
So you can reach out and talk to us, and we will gladly help you and or link you, if you're in South Florida, to us, and or other, maybe we can help you find something in your area of town or village or state to help you with support too.
Yeah.
But keep looking on YouTube for people like us, and don't be afraid to reach out. And we will put our emails right here, Misty, Eyez, and Christian. Anyways, thank you for being awesome parents. Loving you is easy.
Bye.
Ooh, I think that